One last video before I go enjoy a nice supper with my neighbor today. So we're the 15th of December, so half of December here, and it's the best time to review your year. So this video is going to be about goal setting. It's going to be about my goal setting. So I'm going to go through my own exercises here, and I'm going to drop a video soon of how I actually go through or how you should actually go through goal setting, yearly goal setting. So there's a bunch of questions here. I'm going to explain my process as well. The why behind goal setting, I mean, it's quite simple. It's like structure and having some kind of direction. I don't believe in like constantly OCDing over goals. I've done that and that's never been super useful, but having some kind of structure and specifically some review is always great. One question I like asking myself before I go into the technical stuff and the AI stuff is like, what have been my highlights this year? So in my case, my 100K, I would say like rewiring my brain and being more patient, not succumbing to urges, impulsivity, like really controlling my brain and my decisions, right? So that's been a huge victory. I would say like content wise, I've done well as well, like and finished the year super productive. I mean, in my life style, and I mean, you could go through your goals through various categories. We're gonna jump into them, but got a house earlier last year, so I guess that was an accomplishment last year, but got to enjoy that house, traveled, enjoyed wife and 5 dogs, so like family time. And went through great challenges at the end of the year, right? So it's just asking yourself what you've been through and stuff that is noteworthy that you're proud of at end of year. So if you followed my videos in the last couple of weeks, I mean, I've been sick. I done 100K and I was traveling while that, had some panic attacks and shit. So really like a strong challenge at the end of the year. I was like a shell of myself when I came back from my 100K here. And I've done quite amazing for myself. For yearly review, so just like asking yourself these questions slash writing, reviewing your LinkedIn post, Twitter post, Insta post is always a good source of data. I wouldn't go as deep as like emails and stuff, but Apple does nice image compilations showing you the month, so that communicates to some brain, right? Some of your YouTube videos and podcasts. So it's really a time of like just taking all that data and digesting it, right? All the virtual data that you have, if you have some physical data as well. I used to be about journaling, but that can be certainly a good source of data. And if I start asking myself some questions here, I won't have time to do them all. But I guess here let's see here, settings, general. The first thing that I would need to cover for today, business, right? Like business questions. So what I did for all these AIs to ask me a bunch of questions, I asked Grok, I asked ChatGPT, I asked Google Gemini, and I asked Claude to come up with a list of questions, right? So that you can get valuable data and valuable answer about your year. And this video is going to be somewhat short, so I'm going to try to only cover a couple of questions. So revenue analysis, core success metrics, podcast, partnerships, outcome. And I compiled all the best questions and I asked Claude to make a list. list of yearly yearly review questions. So a couple of business, just to give you an example of what goes on my brain, right? Most significant wins this year, I would say content and podcast would specifically enable them. I would say, yeah, getting out of my comfort zone. That's been like quite fantastic. Like me taking a vacation and break as well is a huge insight at the end of this year. But I guess this I've already done the work and I've already have the insights. It's just like pure grind, right? Which customer relationship generated the most value in revenue, insights, growth, and why? So this guy, Sunny Ray, he's a serial entrepreneur. He's in crypto, and he became a good friend of mine. We met in Montreal actually early this year. That was a huge victory too. Paying concert tickets for my wife to go see Enrique Iglesias and also Cirque du Soleil later this year. So I treated myself to various wins, but I've seen this guy in Montreal, and yeah, just a maverick. This guy, serial entrepreneur, and in crypto and various projects, right? And he includes me pretty much in all of these. And the lesson here is that yeah, you need to work for free for people sometimes, and you also need to push them to do things. You need to have a sentiment of urgency to complete stuff to make them move, right? So more of that, I would guess, next year for me. What surprising challenge became an unexpected opportunity? I had various challenges this year. The dogs, I would say, like nowadays we have a fifth one. Actually, yeah, long story short, we adopted a sixth one. I won't talk about that yet, but have a fifth one, and yeah, when there's fireworks she freaks out. So it's just more patient. So the dogs for me have been patient. In business, did I have challenge? Yeah, maybe at some point like cash flow issues, like, but I've solved that with micro revenue. So that was also a big victory for this year. And yeah, that was the opportunity, micro revenue, right? Like affiliate money, AdSense money, what else? Kindle money and so forth. So that's been great. And yeah, I have a whole bunch of micro revenue streams, which I talk in other videos. Which initiative drained resource without generating adequate returns? Not much, because I fired all my employees and I have all these AIs. I don't think I overspent this year. My profit margins are through the roof, 95% some areas. What key metrics shifted dramatically and what drove these changes? I would say like me getting into AI stuff and trying out tech stuff and so forth. So I'm going to skip to the next question, which is leadership evolution. So the team won't be in there because I don't have a team. Actually, the second one's content, community, and impact. Yeah, let's go with that one. That's way better. Content, and community. So what's the ideal balance between podcast production, LinkedIn storytelling, and newsletter growth? I should tell more stories on LinkedIn, and the balance is, I mean, it's like a system that I still need to define, but on a daily basis, I do podcasting, LinkedIn post, and newsletter growth. And sometimes they're all recycled one into another. I get most of my ideas from interviewing guests on podcasts, then LinkedIn posts might be something smaller, something like more digestible, and newsletters like longer thoughts, and it's more intimate, right? It's clients, it's prospects, it's people I spoke to. LinkedIn at broad, it's a bigger community, so I can A/B test more things on LinkedIn. Which content pieces from 2024 generated the most meaningful engagement or business opportunity? Let's go check that out right now. So if I go into my analytics here, and if I go, I guess impressions, right? Impressions, and if I go yearly, what do we have here? Okay, so this guy, yeah, 300 million Tel Aviv gaming VC. That's a great headline. So 20,000 impression. This guy shared a lot to his network, and this is a good example of like why my podcast strategy is so good, is that this guy, I mean, he's somewhat a random VC that no one reaches out to. Like no one give this guy the limelight, right? But this guy's a fucking genius. I gave him the limelight through my podcast, through my AI outreach. Secret recipe, right? And this guy went on my pod, and there you go, 20,000 impressions. This is another genius, John Moran. By the way, I'm gonna re-invite these folks on my podcast, obviously. And yeah, that guy generated a whole lot of impression. Why? Because he's a maverick. 90 million. I guess the million headlines take the attention, and I did a quiz to them my LinkedIn for that, so that's pretty crazy. Um, Maybe I'll do a deeper dive of that. But this one here, I shared with Persona. They shared with their audience, I guess, and yeah, like a lot of people have gained traction over that. So I would keep it to my top three. Again, here with Rush, sharing this one's a sort of porn, soft porn app, which I guess always takes the attention. And Isben Akar has been re-invited to my pod. So yeah, I'll just re-invite all of these pods, folks to my pod, right? Which content pieces from 20 blah, blah, blah. Okay, so engagement, I guess they asked like views, but yeah, these were also like the most engaged ones. How can AI be leveraged to maintain high content quality while increasing output? That's a tough one, right? But generally, you start with your own brain, and you scale it with AI. I often talk about that. So these are like review questions that are sort of specific to me, right? What you need to note out of this is that, yeah, I fed my monthly goals and you can see the videos for that to it. And I said like, build me yearly goals. I did that to GPT, and it gave me a list of yearly goals here. And I fed it that in the yearly review section. At least my dog is like, yeah, Santano. So yeah, I fed it this, so it came up with some specific goals that are for me, right? The next section that I want to skip to, so that we can keep on track with this video, would be health, which is an important one. We're gonna go with relationship and setting the 2025 vision, integration strategy, which is also important. So let's go with a couple of health questions. They are specific to me, right? I fed it my info, so it knows that I'm doing ultra marathon and muscle gains, which is really tough to balance. How I'll balance that is 2 times, right? I'll focus on bodybuilding, and then I'll go with ultra marathons. What systems need to be in place to maintain nutrition goals during business scaling? This one is like me going to Sam's Club here in Oaxaca and buying in bulk. So I'll get my membership and I'll start shopping there. Fitness content creation be integrated naturally. So I'll start that for my YouTube channel next year. So it knows that I'm starting this hit channel, this 7 minutes hit channel. What metrics beyond weight and performance will indicate that you're right on track, looking good in the mirror? Relationships, an important one. I think I've sort of neglected my relationship this year, and I'm not super proud of it. But yeah, sometimes there's seasons, right? So try to improve myself in that area. How can business growth and relationship goals be mutually supportive rather than competing? Include my wife in business, I guess. It's a very good question, right? So the point here, guys, is that I fed GPT with my info, with some review stuff, and then it comes up with these amazing questions. Claude is probably the best AI to do that as well. What boundaries do you need to be set to protect Sunday chill traditions as business scales? Well, right now I'm going out with my neighbors and my wife, and a better question would be like, or a better insight would be that on the weekdays I can also chill. That's the beauty of being an entrepreneur. And that's something I've been doing lately, like chilling during the week, like if it was the weekend, right? And I don't drink heavily. What I mean by that is just like, hey, we're Tuesday, but nobody gives a fuck. And we're chilling like if it was Saturday, right? So having good food at the restaurant and so forth. What morning, evening routines would best support business and relationship goals? We are already doing that. So walking with the dogs in the morning, having breakfast together, that's amazing. So continue that. By the way, that's been a recent addition to routine. Like I said, I could have improved in the relationship area of things, which is why I took a retreat not so long ago and reconsidered these things, right? Need to take a break. That's a huge insight. Which goals have natural synergies? So last but not least, integration balance. So how can I two in one my goals? I've made a video about that. Goal stacking, it's called. So yeah, definitely doing the fitness and business thing, definitely doing the food and business thing. So my channel, 7 minutes cooking, it's gonna have like bodybuilding sections, right? On YouTube and on TikTok. So definitely gonna talk about bodybuilding, definitely gonna talk about a very quick routine for any founders because I'll be bodybuilding, I'll be a founder. I'll be talking about meals that you can have with your wife, right? So, food is one of the best wife pleasing hacks out there, by the way. What's the minimum effective dose for each goal that would drive meaningful progress? I mean, I would need to set better goals for the year. Like have, I don't know, 10K subscribers for my hit channel, 15K subscribers for my fitness channel. Maybe I will. So my goal setting is methodology and process is not done yet, but I'll definitely do that. And if you check the yearly goals here, there should be something in there, fitness and challenge. If we have the podcast, fit, yeah, cooking, subscribers, book ride GPT. Yeah, I'll refine these goals. I'll have some specific goals for both channels. There's gonna be some agency launch goals as well in there. Um, I believe, yeah, you need to constantly be creative and add more creative goals, right? Like start X agency. That personally motivates me. At the end of the day, it's like what motivates you, right? How will you measure success? By the way, I can share access to some of this list, but it will be better if I just share like a broad list of goals and a broad list of reviews, a PDF that I'll make just for you in the next video. This one's like more personally for me and a start to my yearly goals. It won't be my first video in the next 15 days about that. I think now is the best time to do your goals because once you get in the holidays, not sure about you, but I mean, I have a different life, but if I would be in Canada, I would probably get distracted with families and friends and drinking and overeating, right? So it's better that you have your shit set right now on 15th of December. Plus, I've been late in my monthly goals, which is what I'm doing right now. Um, Beyond numerical targets, that's a very good question. It's like, how do you measure your goals beyond numeral targets? So the answer to that is gut feelings, like looking good in the mirror, right? It's like, oh, my wife complimenting me and my close ones complimenting me and receiving compliments on YouTube, for example. What support system need to be in place to maintain momentum across all areas? So I have systems for pretty much everything, whether it's a calendar, whether it's an actual automation or GPT used to keep me on track, right? So certainly I'll keep focus in that area. Last but not least, which habit changes would you create? What habit changes would create the biggest positive impact across multiple goals? I'd say like mindset, and that will be one of my biggest goals for this year. Yeah, like literally thinking through all of my thoughts and be the ultra patient person that I want to be and that I can be. So this video, guys, was just show like my quick process with AIs and question asking for my personal goals and just showing you like how I go through these. I'll probably make more videos. It's not been the most instructive video there is, but hopefully there would be some nuggets of wisdom in there. Like I said, I'll make another video with some questions that pretty much apply to everyone. And yeah, let's keep touch, guys.